If you are overwhelmed by creating content, getting an idea, if you have like 50,000 Google Docs, or if you're like talking to someone on WhatsApp and using Frame.io and using Buffer, like I know your problem and I want to show you something that I've built for myself that I thought maybe someone else would like to use this too to see, because it is one way to schedule, repurpose our content, plan it out for different platforms so that one idea becomes different ways to post, and then to actually schedule it, whether that's manually, and I'm working on doing it with an API. Just depends on how this all goes, how many views this video gets, and whether people actually want a tool like this. But basically, I wanted something that would help me break down an idea and turn it into different ways to post for different platforms. So have a look, because I'm going to show you something that I've built that I think might be really great for small creators and small teams. So yeah, let's get into it. Hey guys, so today I'm going to show you how I share my content, how I organize it for my two VAs. So I have a VA that is a video editor and a VA that is marketing and helps me post and whatnot. And the issue that I've had, and the reason I've created this and I'm sharing it, I want to see what people think, feedback, hit me with it, is because I felt really overwhelmed with the process of coming up with ideas, repurposing those ideas. And so what I created here was a planner. There's some great schedulers, I use Buffer and I love it, but I really wanted something that planned things a bit differently. So what I did was I created this planner, and it will become a scheduler if all goes well. And yeah, if I get feedback that people would want to use it. So I've got this thing where it's content goals, right? And basically what this does is, I've listened to Grace Andrews recently. She was really fantastic. The idea is about having a place where we can keep our goals so that we can make sure that our content is aligned. But basically she had this great idea where, with our content, and to make sure that we're posting content that serves a purpose, she talks about setting a goal, then the signals, so what must be true to achieve that goal, and the content that creates those signals. So what I did was I created a little AI coach, so you can write what your goal is, and then it gives you a list of the signals and then what the content ideas could be, right? So this is just a short video, gives me ideas, and it talks about the signals. So I want to grow my app Curious, and it says, one of the signals is my target audience believes that this is specifically for people like them, not generic self-help. People trust that I understand. People believe the app creates, and that's a bit incorrect because it's audio sessions. So, but still nonetheless, it's got all these great ones, these signals about it. And then again, the content ideas. So that's there just to help me go over and remind myself of the type of content, find ideas. Then we've got two ways to plan. So the first way is through an AI assistant. So basically you can put in an idea that you have for a piece of content. You can tick how you would like to repurpose it. And this will actually, when you click generate, will actually create a planner for you based on whatever you want to name it. And it'll have idea topic that you wrote in, and then it'll give all the different ways to repurpose it here. Now I'm going to show you this way because it's just a bit quicker, but this is how I'm using it. So I've got a content idea at the moment that is about being clear on what we want and being afraid to say it. This is something I'm learning at the moment, right? Then you go here, add format, and you can add the format. So whether you want to do a social media or whether you want to organize it based on the actual type of content. So I like to do it that way. So I know that this should be YouTube script, but nonetheless, real short. And I know that I like to do long form and email, right? So when you do that and you go add idea, what actually happens is it turns it into a table. And so from here, we can start tracking the way that we repurpose our content and actually work that idea for different purposes, right? So I want to show you, you can see here, you'll give it a title. Here, link URL is basically, this looks the same for all of them. Again, this is just a testing idea, right? Long form. We've got email, real short, and then the YouTube planner is a little bit different. And this is something that I did on purpose too, because at the moment I'm learning so much about YouTube. And one of the biggest things is that apparently 40 to 60% is packaging and pre-production, right? How our thumbnail, our title. So I was okay, I need a planner that actually looks at that. So what I've done is I've created what's your value for this video, the hook opening, title option. So then I can highlight which ones I want to use, thumbnail concepts, image notes, everything. And then it's got even a script, B-roll planner for script. So I can write what I need to say, add any footage, B-roll. And this is for my editor, right? So he can go into here and be okay, this is what I need to do. So now I know this idea, okay? And now I'm all right, I want to create a real short. Something else you can do here is you can create multiple types of content for one idea. So usually I do 2 or 3 voiceovers, right? So if I press add, it'll add those as well, right? So let's say the title is figuring out what we want, right? And then here I would be or this is 2 ways I can do it. And I've added this on purpose. So you can add the whole voiceover. I'm just going to copy and paste. This is something I've written already, but usually you could write it in here. right? So this is that. Now, this gives me the script that I have, right? And then say I'm like, okay, I know roughly what kind of B-roll I want. So I would add a slide here and be like, okay, this is the script. This is the link. So I would put my Frame.io B-roll link here. Oh no, sorry. I would put it here. Or I would say use, if you want to describe it, B-roll of me on my computer, right? You can upload the media if you want, and you can give it a title if you want that to have like a title over it. So just say knowing what you want, right? And then I would say, okay, I want this to be Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. And he knows that that's YouTube Shorts, right? So when we save that, it'll come up here. So you can see. And then what you do is, the whole idea is making this either easier for us to do or easier for us to communicate to other people. This is really for small creators that have a small team or they're just solo. So when you click ready to create, this is why I love the bit. It'll tick it, it'll show green. You can take it back to planning. We have this section, which is a ready to create. Now, this system again is built for solo creators or teams. So something I have implemented here is notifications. So what I can do is I can put the 2 different VAs that I have and schedule, like make a note of what notifications I want them to do. So when it's in ready for create, it's for my editor, video editor. So what I would do here is this would be his name. And then I would say, okay, he needs to get an email every time something moves into ready to create or needs review. This one would be for me because when he submitted something for review, that's when I need a notification because it'll come up here and I'll need to check it. So in here, he's like, okay, this is what she wants to do. The only thing I need to add. And then you can see Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. He'll see that little planner that I'll fix there. And great, he'll be able to create that. And when he's done that, he'll go submit for review. So that way I can see, right? And now I'm like, okay, he's given me feedback. I can put my feedback in Frameo or however, or maybe I go into Frameo, give feedback. Then I go request changes. He'll know that he needs to go back into Frameo and then he'll submit it for review again, right? It keeps changing. I'll get an email and then I'll open it. I'll go to the link that he's left there and I'll be like, okay, sweet. Then I'll approve it. Now, when I approve it, my VA for marketing will get this. He will go onto this screen and he'll be like, okay, there's a post that's ready for me to schedule. He'll see the link here. I'll make sure that's there. And then he can actually go, okay, let's schedule this, right? And then he'll choose. Now, at the moment, the API doesn't work. I've only got TikTok on and I'm testing it. But nonetheless, we're actually practicing manually posting at the moment to see if it helps with trending audio. So he'll know, okay, this is where I need to. And then here is where he can add different content per platform. So I'm going to fix this to make sure that there's an option to do captions in the previous step with captions per platform. And then once he schedules that, let's just go with today, then it'll go into the schedule. And here you'll see that the different platforms are showing. So yeah, and this is a bug. I need to fix that. It's shown up twice with TikTok, but nonetheless, this is like how it would show. And then you can actually move those and it will probably move all of them at the moment. That's just what it looks like right now. But the whole idea is like, it's actually made it easier to plan all my ideas. So I can go back here and be like, oh, I've already done that one. Let's do this one and make sure that I get the most out of one idea before I stop using it. But also it makes it easier to actually use it with a team. So again, there's so many great schedulers out there, but I really wanted something that helped me to plan and prep through my ideas, repurpose it, really get it through, but also in a way that like I can break up that idea. So for example, it might take me 2 weeks to get this idea out. I might do YouTube first and then go, okay, I've got to do the long form, turn it into an email. I've got to do all of that. But I feel like this is just an easier way to have the whole process in one place. And then again, I've got my goals. So I'm getting clear on what I want. I've got the assistant and every idea, you just keep adding ideas and you can delete them when you're done or whatever the situation is. And then we've got the option to add different planners. So for me, I have like a personal account and then the curious account. So it'll be like curious and then it'll show the little like ready to create. And then it'll be like personal and it'll show the ready to create. And something else that you can do is you can actually set it as a priority. So that way they know like, hey, get to this first. That's something that we created as well. So tell me what you think. I'd love to know if you think that this is something that you would use as a small content creator, if this is something that would help you with overwhelm. So for example, I've also added the option to manually add a post. So usually like the whole idea is to use a planner, but if you're like moving into something like this, or sometimes we just have an idea, we can manually add a post. So you can choose like the planner that it's for, but it won't add it to the planner. It's just a way to like keep track of which account it's for, what this post is about. It's a real short, right? And then when you do that, it gives you more options. So it's like, okay, I want to post it here. This is it. Add this. Perfect, right? Save changes. And then when it's in ready to create, you'll see it there. And then you'll go, okay, this is ready to schedule now. And then again, it'll show up again. And again, you can see the links there, the caption, long form, everything's there so that that person can use to then schedule it. And when they schedule it, these will actually be applied for each individual post as well. So yeah, let me know what you think. If you think it was something that you would find helpful. Thank you.